Hi everyone, this is Jim. Welcome to this postmortem of my Blitz game number 668. I have to say right from the beginning, this game was a real tactical workout, so put your thinking caps on. There'll be some quizzes along the way. Now let's see, my opponent went e4, I went c5, Sicilian defense. He goes knight f3, and I go d6, going for a classical Sicilian. And now my opponent plays the extremely rare move a3. And like most such rare moves, it's not especially good. But it's funny, the move I played, knight c6, is the main move here. Well, it's the only move in the database. I can't say it's the main move since there's actually no games with that move. But anyway, it doesn't lose, I guess is what I should say about it. So what it does is it's basically an equal position. This gambit is okay if you take it. White gets compensation for the pawn. So it's not like White is a pawn down or anything. He's got enough compensation here. It's d4. In fact, the chess engine even likes White in this position if I go ahead and grab the pawn. So it's another one of those wacky gambits. But if you play correctly with Black, then you equalize. So it's just another way for White to give up the opening advantage against correct play. Let's see. The line continues. Knight f6, attacking this pawn. c3, counterattacking the knight. Knight jumps back. Bishop b5. So you see White gets some quick play on the light squares here, and not that diagonal, this diagonal. And he's leaving this pawn hanging for the moment, but he'll be able to castle, get his pieces into the game. He's got open lines for his bishop. So typical kind of gambit play. Anyway, I didn't take that pawn. I played knight f6, which turns out to be the best move here. He played c3. And now it's safe to take that pawn. c3 is actually a mistake. At this point, Black is better. So White can still, maintain an equal position with a couple of moves. There's knight c3, just defending the e-pawn, or d3. But sacking the e-pawn is a much bigger deal than sacking, some meaningless pawn over on the queen side. They're especially meaningless early in the game. Later on, they could be an issue in the endgame, but you have to survive the middle game first, as they say. So anyway, c3, big mistake. And so now Black is winning. And I'm winning for most of the game, so we'll get to the point where I start messing up shortly. But this is all good for Black here. He kicks my knight. I go to a5, which is a good square for it. He plays b6. Okay, going for more tactics. Nothing but cheap tricks here. So the idea is the queen can come out with a check and pick up one of these two loose knights if I just do something lazy like taking the pawn. But I have a perfectly good move here in bishop d7, just stopping the check. Also the best move here. And really he's got nothing. In fact, he's down by almost 2 points at this point in the computer estimation. He goes ahead and takes his pawn. I don't have to be in a hurry to round it up. It's a goner. So I just continue with my development. g6, get the bishop out. He goes d4. Let's say I decide to go ahead and take. He took with the queen. I drop my knight back. And then he goes bishop to e2, overlooking a tactic. So here's your first tactics quiz. It's Black's turn to move. What's the best move here? Okay, yeah, remember this knight over here on the rim? I said it wasn't a bad square. You can just hop into here and fork the rook and the queen. So that'd be winning. I'd have the exchange and a couple pawns, or at least one pawn, plus the exchange. That's a winning advantage. So this reflexive move, bishop g7, is a fine move. It's just not the best move in the position. When you have that tactic like that, you've got to grab it. Yeah, so that's just an example of not doing that little tactical survey before making your move. That would make a big difference in this game. Let's see. He goes rook a2, preparing to, I guess, double his rooks somewhere. Also getting it away from that fork. And it was here that I noticed the fork. I was saying, why did he play rook a2? And then I said, oh yeah, because I could have forked him there on b3. Anyway, I thought knight b3 was a good move here anyway, and the chess engine agrees. It's this bishop is potentially a good piece for Black. It's got an open line, and if I get rid of it, then my dark squared bishop will be unopposed. So there's actually good sequence for Black. So I'm still keeping that winning advantage. It's just not as easy a win as it would have been. Okay, so I castled and he castled. And then I finally decide to round up that pawn. He brings his rook over to d1, trying to get some action going here along the d file. I went knight g4. I had this idea of going after the f pawn that he neglected here. Played c4. I went queen b6, and he played c5. And after this, my game really started going downhill in a way. Not in terms of the computer evaluation, but just in terms of the way I was playing, because I was kind of unnerved by this move. I was expecting that that wasn't possible, but it is because of the pin. Of course, the bishop is loose there, so I can't take with a pawn and I can't take with a queen because he'll trade queens and still win a piece at the end. So I need to move my queen away. Queen c6 is okay. It's queen a5. I think the engine liked that move better, but this is all right. Still winning for black. So in spite of this little tactic, I'm still have enough of an advantage here to win. Let's see. He went rook c2, lining up against my queen. I went bishop to f5 here, hitting his rook. And he went knight to d4, hitting my queen. And now queen to c8 is a mistake. That gives away most of the advantage. I mean, I still have a slight edge after that, but most of the advantage is given away by that. No, the simple winning idea here is, well, I have more tactics quizzes coming up. I could have made this a tactics quiz too if you want to take a second and think about it. Okay, the move here is bishop takes d4. Just get rid of that knight that's attacking my queen. And his rook is still hanging. I developed this bishop and attacked his rook. And however he plays, say he takes with the rook, then I'll grab here. That leaves my knight hanging. But he needs to take back a piece. He can take either the knight or the bishop. And whichever piece he takes back, I'll save the other one. And at the end of all this, well, in this line, I'm up the exchange. I've got two rooks and knight, and he's got one rook and two pieces. So the exchange, and I guess the pawns will be even. He can maybe take here. Not at the moment, right, because of the pin. Anyway, or the other way of taking is doesn't work out either. If he takes with the bishop, he can take over here. Trying to exploit my overworked bishop, I can take on c2. And once again, I have two pieces hanging, and he gets to choose which one to take. I'll get the other one. In this case, I'm a whole... No, I'm still just the exchange up. Okay. And this, but I'm a clear pawn this time, the exchange and a pawn. So any of those would be winning. This here is slightly better for black. My idea was to take back with the queen when he took my bishop and threaten f2 once again, which is what happened. But this is not such a big threat. Although after c takes d6, here the king goes, there's a tactic in this position. So what's the best move for black here? Okay, my knight was hanging, and I just dropped the queen back to defend the knight. But a much better move is to move the knight and to hit those rooks. I thought my queen might be a bit exposed here. Rook's coming over to harass it, but you'll notice the knight on e3 is protecting these squares that the queen might be harassed from. And if he lifts this rook, I'll take the other rook. So once again, this wins the exchange. So let's see. Yeah, he didn't have to play this way. It was c takes d6 is really a mistake on his part. And that gave me the advantage once again. But I played queen f5, and we're back to where it's just a slight edge. Let's see, he takes off the knight here, getting rid of those fork threats, and then he grabs another pawn. And I play rook to e8. And now my situation is in trouble, and he's winning here. So that was... queen to f5, I guess you'd say, was the losing move, although he gives me one more chance. It's kind of funny. So here, knight e3 is winning, and queen f5 is losing. I think I said it was about even, but that's wrong. This is already losing here with queen f5. So let's see. He took, I took, he went pawn takes, and I block with the rook. And now it's white's turn to move, and there's only one move that's clearly winning here. So if you want one more tactics quiz in this video, what's the best move for white? Okay, the answer is not rook to d8, which he played, but the other rook, rook to c8. So the idea is the same. You're trying to distract this rook away from blocking this pawn, and there's no good defense here if you try and defend this way. Also, this rook is just loose. If you don't defend it, it'll get taken, and the king can't defend it. So defending with the rook is the only way. But then you play over here. You take this rook, take back, and then this rook comes back in with check, and that's clearly winning. The way he played it, he had a similar kind of idea, but in this position, I could actually defend with rook to a8. There's one key idea I missed here, which is that after he takes, I take, and he comes in for the check. The key idea is that my queen is guarding the c8 square, and I can just take that guy. And so he's not getting a queen. This is actually winning for me. So so that's the idea. I needed to notice after he played rook to d8 that I was guarding the c8 square in that line, and I could still hold on. I think with best play that's a draw in that line. But I went queen a4, thinking that the rook defense didn't work, trying to defend with the queen, but this fails to rook c to c8, which he found, and there really is no defense in this position. So white won. I always hate to show these games where white plays a terrible opening and wins anyway, but well, it happens sometimes. And I still want you to know it wasn't well, it wasn't that terrible an opening. Let me take that back. In the beginning, he was doing okay up to this point. It's a weird sacrifice that gives up an opening edge, but you get gambit play. It was c3 really that loses, and I should have been able to beat him after that, especially when he left himself open to those tactics. But well, that's the way it goes. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Leave any comments you have in the section below, and I will see you again soon. Bye.